for the love of money. Mm, 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 mm. Sit your $5 earns down before I make change. Anyway,
Hey,
I
Keisha,
am the
Keisha, I know this guy from some. I know this guy.
rockabye, baby, rockabye. Anyway, let us get out of character. And I was already wearing black earlier. Just want y'all to know. But anyway, welcome to the Demetra K Show. I am Demetra K. And this is Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, also known as the Black Yule Brenner. And we are live, and in living color. Facts not feeling. Yes, I think it's gonna be funny too. How you doing? Is it Tia or Thea? I was thinking about that the other day. Thea, how are you? Michael, what's going on with you? Thunder, how you doing? So anyway, purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even because we are great people, but we can always try to do better. I'd like to say a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube, X, and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you just viewers, but you are family, and we sometimes share the link so that you can come up here and voice your opinion or ask a question. All I ask is that you keep it brief and you keep it to the topic. Please do not come up here talking about the same thing you talk about all the time unless to the conversation. I also ask that I see your face if I have not seen you on here before. So if you have a picture in lieu of you, please show me your face. I can see you. No one else can. Before I bring you up, I want to verify that there are no shenanigans involved. Today, we're going to be talking about an Illinois mayor, Dolton, Illinois, to be exact. Mayor Tiffany Henyard, and they say she is running the town like Nino Brown, baby. So of course I'm gonna get into it. I was reading it and it was like, damn, it's like a soap opera. So I think it's gonna be very interesting. But before I give it to Donovan, I want to remind you guys of tomorrow's show with Love Demetra K. Of course, it's something new that we're trying on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Central Time, where we want to welcome you on here. So far, I don't have anybody who has said, "Hey, I want to come up and ask my question," or whatever, have a conversation with us. But if you're uncomfortable with doing that, you can send an email to the email down below. I love dk@gmail.com. You can do it anonymously if you like. And we will read it here and ponder it and try to help you out as best that we can. But this show you guys asked for, it's kind of a spinoff of What's Behind the Booty, but I think I wanted to give it a more appropriate name. So again, you guys asked for this. I'm going to try this for a couple of weeks to see how we do. And if not, we're going to have to go do something else or whatever the case is. And so anyway, stay tuned for that. Donovan, what say you?
Oh, welcome. It is 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That means the Demetra K Podcast live. We are actually live this time. Welcome, you guys. Excuse me for coughing. It's the same old story as usual. You guys know the routine. If you want to give 100% of your donation to the content creator, that scrolling banner at the bottom is a way to do it. She takes cash, checks. Please don't do the Fannie Willis thing. She don't want the cash because she got to know. I'm messing with you. But that's the way you guys can do that. Also, do not forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get it on Apple Store and Google Play. That is a way where you can keep in tune with not only what's going on with the African diaspora in Africa and all around the globe, but also stories and issues that are going on right here in the United States. Brother Philip Scott, Vicki Dillard, Demetra K as well. Great stories, great way to stay informed. Wangel, internationally, Caribbean, all over the place. So we're getting great stories. That is a way where we can talk candidly to the issues that affect us and how we want to say it and when we want to say it versus being on another person's platform or another entity's platform where we have to be censored and the revolution cannot be televised. So go ahead and download that app, get to it, and that way we could really galvanize ourselves in regards to getting reparations and all that other stuff and how we're going to organize ourselves to do that, because we're not asking and begging for reparations. People, stop it. We are demanding it at this point. When you talk to people, we're demanding it. There is no more asking. We're demanding. So let's get into this. This is going to be interesting because I talked to Demetra about this mayor a bunch of weeks ago. Demetra was like, "That sister girl, it don't matter. She can do what she want to do." Blah, blah. No, she didn't do all that. But to tell the story was kind of unbelievable. But it's believable because, again, you're seeing a lot of women in these power positions that are acting no different than if a man was sitting in the position. So let's take it from there.
Absolutely. And really quick, Thunder, he says, what do you think about the strategy of casting a ballot in certain areas and leave them blank? So you said vote some places and then leave some of them blank. Is that what you're asking? If that's, go ahead.
Yeah, well, what I'm going to say is for everybody that says, well, I'm not going to vote, whatever, I'm going to say this, and Philip Scott was right. At least register to vote. If you're not going to vote, register to vote, because that way they can gauge how many people sat on the couch and didn't do anything. So we're going to say, if you're not going to vote at all, please register to vote. Voting rights for Black people is not on the ballot. It's not in danger. When they talk about voting rights is in danger, that is for the migrants that they're bringing in here to whitewash or basically blackwash our vote to mean nothing. Every Black person that wants to vote can vote if they've got some kind of government ID, period. So how is your vote in danger? But and as a Thunder's case, yes, any way you want to do it, to me, that would work as well. But to me, again, to me, the best thing is to make sure you're registered to vote so you can do that.
And I say, yeah, that's what I do, actually. If I, not in love with anybody on there, I'll leave that particular part blank and then I'll vote on the other one. So yeah, you can definitely do that. All right.
Shoot, write your name in. Shoot, well, why can't you run for president? Why not?
Absolutely. All right. So what I'm about to tell you, it's really, it's jaw dropping, actually. And so I'm going to share this with you. So y'all can get a good idea of who we're talking about. Okay. Can y'all hear us still? Wait, let me go ahead and do this. There we go. All right. So, I was reading this story and I was like, I'm going to take notes, but I'm like, nah. I got to read through this word for word because it's really unbelievable. Okay, what did I do with it? There it is. It's really unbelievable. And I want you guys to hear the story as written by the Daily Mail. All right, so it gets really good here. So bear with me. Get your popcorn or something to drink, kick back for like 3 minutes because it's really interesting. All right. I got to scroll down. All right. So it says Illinois mayor is now accused of shutting down businesses that refuse to donate to her campaign and blasting Rihanna's "B Better Have My Money" at board meetings after being slammed for using city money to fund her glamorous looks. Okay. The first female mayor of a tiny Illinois village is now accused of shutting down businesses that refuse to donate to her campaign just weeks after being slammed for using city money to fund her glamorous looks. Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, 40 years old, is accused of using her official position within the town to retaliate against those who do not comply with her wishes. And this came from the New York Post via the Daily Mail. Okay. Residents claim she adopts the persona of movie gangster Nino Brown from the 1991 film New Jack City during official meetings, dressing in an ensemble designed to instill fear. And this is a quote: "People look at politics like it's a joke. It's like a mockery right now because of all of this stuff," Village of Dalton trustee Kiana Belcher told the Post. She comes to board meetings dressed like Nino Brown. During a meeting, she reportedly signaled for a DJ to play Rihanna's "B Better Have My Money" while fully committing to her Nino Brown persona, even carrying a small stuffed remnants of a scene from the movie. So a dog, rather. So a fake dog is what she had with her. As y'all can see in this photo, it's a real photo with her with the fake dog with the jewelry and stuff on. Okay. And let's see here, moving on down. This is good, huh? It's like a movie. It says one resident, Lawrence Gardner, claimed that Henyard forced the closure of his trucking business after he refused to renew a $3,500 contribution to her political fund. And he says, "I made the payment. Then every year she started coming and required the same thing. And we had a problem about that." What is she, Nino Brown? Anything she wants done, she gets them to harass you. She's like nobody. If you are not doing what she says, if you're not doing how she says to do it, you are a problem. She don't like them. And that's what Lawrence was saying. Okay. It says residents and former officials accuse Henyard and police chief Louis Lacey of obstructing local businesses that fail to make required payments. Trustee Kiana Belcher alleges that the former police chief Robert Collins admitted to being directed by the mayor to target individuals. The mayor is under investigation for allegedly misusing public funds for personal expenses and utilizing law enforcement to suppress opposition. Earlier this month, she was slammed by her critics at a public meeting after she caused outrage by taking a $300,000 salary. You heard me right? $300,000 a year. Says Henyard was elected leader of Dalton, a village of 20,000 in 2021, but has since come under fire for what many see as her excessive spending. This is a quote. You all should be ashamed of yourself because you all are black. You all are black, and you are up here beating and attacking a black woman that's in power. And that was a quote from Tiffany on a meeting on Monday. She says, you all should be ashamed of yourselves. All right. Then it says she regularly engages the services of professional hair and makeup teams, stylists, before public appearances and photo shoots for the county's taxpayer-funded billboards, with more recent reporting showing she spent tens of thousands on multiple first-class trips around the country. Henyard also tried to lay down the law against village trustees who says she's misusing funds. Here's another quote. You all forget I'm the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. You all ain't learned that yet. The mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing. They only run their mouth. You all don't do no work. No work. Okay, that was Tiffany. And it says, since the initial reporting on Henyard's spending, it's been revealed she and other officials spent more than $67,000 on trips to Portland, Austin, Atlanta, and New York City on the village's dime. It also says many of the flights were first class, while Henyard's team spent $13,000 in public money staying in New York. And here's a quote. It's unfortunate that politics are being played. What happens is $1 million of my budget has been cut because of politics. And that's Dalton Police Chief Lacey. It also says Henyard doesn't understand the criticism as she believes she's working to better everyone's lives. Quote, everything we do is for the people, but we're under attack. We get scrutinized by the media for what? Loving on the people? Showing that they matter to us? We're going through the fires for you all. Okay, almost done here. Now it says the village board said that the problem is a matter of trust with citizens and trustees being unable to vet her spending. At the end of the day, vendors aren't being paid. The board approved it, but vendors aren't being paid. Dalton trustee Jason House said. Fellow trustee Brittany Norwood added, how about you be a good leader and bring proposals to the forefront so not just us, but residents and everyone else in America know how the money is being spent. It says Henyard has always snapped in tasteful, expensive looking outfits. She has posted photos of herself getting out of chauffeur-driven SUVs, with one Instagram post even appearing to show her with a dog laden with jewelry. Henyard, who often refers to herself as God's favorite, has now sparked further outrage by proposing a new law that would cap the next mayor's salary at $25,000 unless she remains in the role. Many believe the proposal, which has been branded illegal, is an attempt to dissuade anyone from running against her in 2025. Now, trustees in the town have filed a lawsuit against her, alleging forgery and claiming she withheld financial records. The scandal is just the latest to hit the beleaguered mayor after she was slammed for, okay, this is the juicy part, okay? After she was slammed for hiring her former campaign worker as the town's code enforcement officer. The fact is, he is a convicted child. Y'all fill in the blank, okay? Something bad. She also raised eyebrows after spending hundreds of thousands of taxpayers' dollars on security details, including one for an event with senior citizens and another occasion where she pulled cops off the street to perform a protection outfit. And it says questions have emerged over how she funds her apparently lavish lifestyle, especially since she has repeatedly swerved questions and dismissed criticism by branding trustees for the townships as haters. Dalton trustees says she has not explained the need for her eye-watering security budget. They also claim she issued checks without proper authorization. I see no justification whatsoever. And more than that, it's really a detriment to the citizens of Dalton, one trustee said. And in closing, it says, if we're to take the same money and put it in the officers patrolling the streets, then the residents will see a much better presence and public safety will be better. Henyard, a Democrat, was sworn in the mayor in May, becoming the first woman and the youngest person to occupy that post in Dalton's 128-year history. After her election, Dalton residents triggered a recall process largely due to her hiring a convicted sex offender, Lavelle Redmond, into that role that will require him to enter into people's homes. According to the reporting at the time, the then 16-year-old Redmond and 3 others kidnapped and assaulted 2 girls, 13 and 14. At age 17, Redmond was sentenced to 50 years in prison, but was paroled in 2016 and required to register as an offender. At the time, Henyard defended the move, stating that convicts who have served time deserve a second chance. Now, I know that was very lengthy, but I thought that you guys should understand who and what this lady is, running around the town like Nino Brown. Of course, those of y'all don't know who Nino Brown is. That is, I said, the new Jack City movie that came out in 1991 was an iconic movie and still is. Nino Brown was not to be played with. You know, he was stabbing people in the hands for shortchanging them and talking back, and he was a lot. You know what I mean? And so she thinks that she's the second coming of Nino Brown, I guess. But I want to know what the hell is going on in Dalton. Donovan?
Yeah! Pop, pop, pop! I'm the old guy at the end of the movie. Going in there doing the thing. I'll be out in a week. I'll be out in a week. You know, beating his ass. Anyway, you guys, I mean, it's pretty self-evident what is going on. We have to get out of the mindset, especially in the Black community, of calling these people leaders. Leaders are not elected. We're a republic. They're servants. That is their official title. They are public servants. They are elected to represent us. A leader either takes power or it is just what it is. You know what I mean? So that's the total. So we got to get out of that mindset. But notice that our leaders, our Black leaders, are no different than the corrupt leaders that you find over in the continent of Africa. So we know we got African blood in us somehow, the corruption of government, because put it like this, if she was in a predominantly white neighborhood, none of that stuff would be going on. Now, I want you guys to remember, and it is kind of confusing how she can occupy 2 different positions at the same time, but it is another thing. She's the mayor of Dolton, which is a city which pays about $53,000 a year. Then she's also a supervisor of the township of Thornton. So a township is equivalent to a county, if you guys are from other parts of the thing. So that means she has cities underneath her as well. So you take her $250,000 salary plus her mayor's salary plus her supervisor's salary, she makes over $300,000 something dollars. And notice, as a supervisor, she doesn't do too much chicanery with the supervising, even though recently she was supposed to meet with the residents and she told them to go downstairs, or the security guard told them to go downstairs because the people wanted to know what was going on. And she adjourned the meeting within 4 minutes. So they didn't have the meeting, she adjourned and she didn't want to be a thing. But that's on the supervisory side. See, when the white people are involved, look at how she acts versus when the Black people are involved. This is why I tell you guys all the time, you can sit there and complain about what the city ain't doing, what this ain't doing, what that ain't. When was the last time you were at a city council meeting? When was the last time? And then what Demetria didn't tell you in the story is, did you guys know she appointed a former cocktail waitress or waitress that happens to be friends with her as she likes to be a trustee? And this woman does absolutely everything that this woman wants. Also, the city administrator, who is the real power behind the mayor, because the mayor is a part-time job. The city administrator runs the city. He has a shiesty past as well and goes right along with it. And then there's another dude involved. How many of you guys remember the guy Andrew Holmes? He's a trustee. Andrew Holmes, for those guys that remember who that name is familiar, you guys remember Kanika Jenkins, the young lady that was found in the freezer in Chicago, whatever. Well, Dalton is not that far from Chicago proper. It's like 20 or 30 minutes away, whatever the deal is. Andrew Holmes is a known activist in that area. He has also supported and got his hand in the cookie jar on some of those trips and all this other stuff that is going on. And what we got to understand is this. This lady, before she became mayor, she was also arrested for breaking into cars. Now, I know she looks like Lil Wayne, because that's who I thought it was, Lil Wayne's sister or somebody like that. That's just my opinion, not Demetrius. That's my opinion. She does look like Lil Wayne, though. And she's always doing the moves and doing all that other stuff. But this goes to show you, it's just like when Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor. Remember that, Demetria, when he became governor of California? He came in talking about he's going to balance the budget and left the budget $2 billion more than when he had got in there. I mean, he had exploded it a little bit more than when he got in there. And what she's trying to do, and what, you know, and this is the bad thing about our community. You just put it out there and you look on social media, oh, look at the great things she's doing. Oh, we got a skating rink. We got this, we've got that. You got to pay for that. You got to pay for that. Before she took office, their budget, they were already in the hole $2 million. $2 million in the hole. As of right now, they are over $7 million in the hole. Police cars are about to be repoed. And I talked to Demetria about why that's going to be repoed, because it seems like, because notice what Demetria said in the story. The city trustees have authorized certain things to get paid. So they authorized the police force, that bill, to be paid. The bills that they haven't authorized to be paid were the ones she didn't provide receipts. So where are the receipts? So to me, what she's doing is, instead of taking the money to pay for the police cars and things that she's supposed to pay for, she's using that money to cover her trips and the things that, you know, need to be covered, so she could continue to go on these trips and all this other stuff. And they're just moving the money around. But what is one of the most important things a government is supposed to do for its citizens? Safety. Safety. This is a small township of 20,000 people. You're talking about 6 to 8 cars. Police cars are going to be repoed. Now you got to remember, she has at least minimum of 4 security details. I think the police force is only no bigger than 20 people at maybe 8 people at the most. I live in a city of 210,000 people. You guys want to know how many county sheriffs that we contract out to be our police force? 16. Out of the 16, 6 of them have to stay at the station at all times. So what does that mean? We have no more than 7 or 8 police officers dealing with the city of 200-something thousand people. And let me correct that. I think we have maybe 30 officers, maybe, for 200-something thousand people, because I know half of them are off and the other half are on. But no more than 8 cars are patrolling at any given time in my city of 210,000 people. 8 police people. So this is interesting, and it brings in the question again. It's been bashed in my head over and over again. Oh, well, the problem in the world is men. We need to put women in these positions, and, you know, women will fix it. And, you know, the men just don't know what they're doing. When women get in a position, they don't fix it. Seems to me, anybody that gets in these positions, nothing changes. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Power corrupts absolutely, and that's what's happening here, especially with people that have never dealt with money before.
Yeah, I mean, it's the men. There's a lot of men in there not doing a great job as well. So it's not just the women getting in there. I'm gonna do a good. Ain't none of them doing no good job.
Yeah, didn't I just say that?
So yeah, Dalton is predominantly black at 91.2%, followed by white 4.3%, and two or more, whoever that is, that two almost 3%. So it's a predominantly black town with over about 20,000 people. So that right there is very telling. I guess, and hello to everybody came on here. Turner Ira, how you doing? And Kels, how are you? To me, it's very, I get the concept of, if you're a predominantly black town, you should probably have predominantly black city council and stuff like that. We've seen it before, like in Ferguson, Missouri, where it was predominantly black, but the leadership, if you will, the city council was white. So it kind of ran like a plantation. So I get that, but I want to know, how was it and what was her attributes that made them want to select her as the mayor? She's 40. It's young, but it's not young. I mean, clearly she's got her priorities twisted. She wants to be some sort of a ghetto superstar, I guess, bling blinging and all that other stuff. It doesn't sound like she's doing a great job of making sure the city bills are paid. I know that's not directly her job, but she does have clearly with her, she has her hand in the bank account, if you will, because she's, using a lot of it for things that she shouldn't be using it for. But I thought one of the most gangster parts is when she was like, yo, let's vote on a measure that says that the next mayor that comes in is only going to get a $25,000 salary. Now, mind you, she's getting $300,000. So they're saying she's doing that to make sure that nobody runs against her, basically saying, well, it's not worth it. But the other thing I think people fail to realize is the city mayors in a lot of cities, they only get a small amount. They don't get these big giant salaries like they have another job or something else to do, sort of like the pastors used to back in the day, right? They had a job, and their side job, if you will, was to be a pastor. But a lot of these politicians and stuff like that, they have parlayed it into a full-time gig. And so even if they did change that law or whatever it was to make it $25,000, I think somebody should run, somebody who doesn't necessarily need the money, because we know a lot of politicians already have their own hustle going on. And they get in there, and usually it's about the power. But I think somebody else should oppose her. They wanted to recall her. They actually looks like they were successful. She took them to court, and so they said she can count. They can count the votes. They just can't certify them. So they recalled her a year after she got in because they was like, no. But she won in court. So when she runs again in 2025, clearly she's not going to be successful. But facts not feelings, I agree with you. I think the FBI, the feds, they're letting her do a whole lot of stuff. That way it's non-negotiable. Like, no, you did that. It ain't going to be, well, did she or didn't she? No, I think they collecting. And that way when they give her the perp walk, there's not going to be any mistake as to she did it and she's going down. But the other thing I would say is this. Clearly she does have that attitude of who gonna check me, boo. Because the stuff that she doing, you playing B better have my money up in city council meetings. Who you talking about, first of all? And second of all, it ain't your money. It's the taxpayers' money. So how did you get it in your mind that this money belongs to you? So I agree with you, facts not feelings. They waiting.
Yeah, and again, here she is spending money because at the end of the day, the taxpayer has to pay those bills. At the end of the day, vendors are doing the work and accumulating all this stuff. They're going to have to pay it. Regardless, the work has been done. So she's coming into it, like you said, who's going to check me, boo? Hey, it's going to be paid one way or the other. It's going to have to be paid. Those people are going to have to be paid. They cannot walk away from services rendered. So the people themselves have to start showing up at those city council meetings and start, raising their hands, because this is going to come out of their pocket. As a matter of fact, one of the things she tried to do to generate revenue for the city to offset some of these things was she was giving $500 parking tickets. Just taking people's pictures that stopped for a brief moment, and in the mail, sending them $500 tickets to do this. And the sad thing is, we allow government to do this type of stuff to us because, Black people, we're such a loving people. We're so Christian. We're so forgiving. Oh, we're so this. This is how they take advantage of us. And the saddest thing is, we shit on our own people and we eat it up.
Yeah, and easy. I agree with you. And hello to everybody that came on. You says not many black towns of 90% left, and this city hot girl setting it up for a migrant takeover. It's like, yeah, what are you doing? And, you know, clearly the people don't like it. But again, I don't know if anybody lives in Dalton, but I really would like to know, what about her did y'all like? What about her made y'all say, huh? I think she would be a great mayor. I mean, did she have any experience? And I saw somebody said that she has a charity. It sounds like that's going to be shut down, but
she didn't file any paperwork with the charity like she's supposed to. Yep.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm interested. What about her? I'm sure if the town is 90% black, there's probably other black people running. So you know, I don't know. It's funny, but it's not funny. Facts Not Feeling says the city girl mayor should not be mayor. She should be home cooking and taking care of kids, waiting for her man to get home. If I was her man, I would have checked her a long time ago. Is she married? I don't know. I don't even know if she's married or.
No, she is not married, but she had a child with a married man.
For real?
Yes. Yeah, she had a child with a married man. Yes, absolutely.
Hey, Brother Damon, how you doing today?
Not that matters, but it also brings into question her character. And then she tries to shade the ex-wife because the man didn't separate or whatever. It's a typical same story that we hear with a lot of women that get involved with men that are married, and the child comes and then it becomes a big mess. So,
Proud Man Tramp, how you doing? You says, what about what she's making under the table? I'm sure she's blackmailing a few residents. Yeah, one guy was a truck driver, said that his trucking company has been shut down because he refused her shakedown. I guess it sounds like she shook him down once, a couple times for campaign donations, and he's like, I'm not doing it no more, and she shut him down. So they're saying that's kind of like her culture, her behavior is to shut businesses down if she can't shake them down. So it's like,
yeah, she has a saying, I grew here, the others flew here. So she's from that area and that community, so she knows how they get down. There's just no doubt about that. And I want to, here's a question for you, Demetra. Now that the city's police cars are threatening to be repoed, isn't this the same police that she uses for her security and over $1 million in overtime? How do you think they feel that this chick didn't even take care of them for the chicanery that they're doing for her?
It sounds like maybe they did end up paying the bills after all. From what I heard, don't quote me. I don't know if they did. I just heard that they did take care of the police cars, but they were in the process of being repoed because they were not being paid for.
Because the trustees did authorize payment. They did authorize that.
Yeah, they authorized payment, but she, doing something. They said she got a glam squad, that she got to take care of. Which they say when she goes out and, before the public and her billboards and all that other stuff, she got to be.
And the billboards were ruled to be unconstitutional as it was a form of campaigning on the tax dollar.
Yeah, that's a direct no-no.
Right. And then, if I'm correct, Demetra, wasn't she just now at the White House under Joe Biden at a fundraiser? Wasn't she not there?
She might have been. I haven't seen it. She might have been.
She was. There's a video of her in the White House at a Joe Biden fundraiser. Democrat now, you guys. Democrats. Fact.
Yes, and Damon, that's Illinois. Dolton. It's a small township, 20,000 people, predominantly black town. Sunday said, I'm standing in line about to go vote, and there's a man in front of me singing that song, Mr. Sandman, Bring Me a Dream, but he keeps saying the word Trump. It's going to be a whole lot of people up in there being entertaining or hang in there, though. Miss Sweet Talk says she has a married baby daddy. True. My God. My Lord. KP from KC5. How you doing? Says, can't make this up, bruh. All right, Turner says she's a political plant. Something going on, because how is she allowed to make it doing any of that kind of stuff? The people tried to get her recalled, and she took them to court and won. It's like,
Well, remember what we said the other day? We do not have mechanisms in place they've changed the law so much to protect themselves as incumbents. And we are almost helpless to do it. How many recalls did my city have to get people in and out of here? And then they come right back. There's no shame. There's nothing. This is what they do. Oh, I'm for term limits. You guys vote for me. I'm for term limits. They get in there. You don't hear nothing about it. Oh, money in politics is the problem. We got to do something about Citizens United. You elect me, I'll get rid of it. They get up there. You don't hear nothing about it. This is what they do. And we just sit there in the, there's no repercussion. As citizens, as the bosses, we do not do nothing as far as repercussion. And then if they're running every 2 years or every 4 years, oh well, if you do this now, it's going to cost you more money. These are the gate rails that they put in to protect themselves. And we've got to change all that. If they're not doing the will of the people, you need to come out of there immediately, not in the next year in the election cycle and all this other damage that they can do. But this is how politics works in America, and we have got to change it. Again, when I hear people talking bad about Africans and Africans talking bad about Black Americans, there's no difference. We fuck each other over in our leadership. It's about making money for our people, our family. We don't care about what's going on in the hood as long as I can get my people. Look what Maxine Waters is doing. Look what Jim Clyburn is doing. His daughters are political consultants. What the hell do they know about politics? They ain't got no degree or expertise in it. It's a way to launder money. We gotta take the bull by the horns if we want things to change, you guys. And voting the Democratic Party, I'm not telling you who to vote for. I left the plantation a long time ago.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Attorney General for Illinois. They did halt her charity, her donations for charity. It's called Tiffany Henyard Cares. It's like, is you for real? Let's see here. I was just looking up some stuff about her. Let's see. Says her net worth is about $6 million from what it's saying. That's not bad for a 40-year-old, that's $6 million. And then William, how you doing? It says Channel 32 just announced an FBI probe. Wow. Yeah, once the story really grew some legs, I figured it would be a matter of time because I heard about it, but I really saw it start to trend yesterday and today. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's no longer in the confines of the walls of Dalton, if you will. Yeah, KP, you say Tiffany, Fonnie, Brandon, Latoya, Cottrell. Yeah, what's really going on?
Rose Devereaux.
Huh?
When you get a chance, get down to Rose Devereaux's comment.
Okay, I will. Facts Not Feelings says women in that town voted for her because she's a social media star. Guys voted for her because she looks like she's a freak in the sheets. Oh Lord, well that's the hell why they got what they got. And Rose, how you doing? He says just doing it up like Kwame Kilpatrick. And that's what I said to Donovan earlier when he kept talking about the black women in politics. I said Kwame Kilpatrick gave them people 2 bids. He got gaffled up twice for some malfeasance, political malfeasance.
Mm-hmm. But why is it that, and I know I said that, but I also said the people in power, doesn't matter if you're black and white. You're only hearing one thing, Demetri. You're only hearing the man part of it. I said both of them. Doesn't matter who occupies the seat.
I wasn't the only one that heard you bring up the sisters. Somebody else heard too.
No, exactly. But that's what I'm saying, though. But I said no matter who is in the seat, be it a male or a woman, there's no difference. You're only hearing one side. See, fellas.
No. I read Rose's comment, right. And I said that to you before we came on about Kwame Kilpatrick.
Right. But what I'm saying is, though, the context that I put it in, as men are just as bad as women that are getting out into the power seats are no different. So no matter if it's a man or a woman, they're both trash when they get there. There's something about power in the seat. So it isn't just, I'm not like saying women. Particularly to this story, it's about women. But I'm not trying to bash women. What I'm saying is, no matter who is in that seat, they have the same behavior.
Yeah, Kev J says Kilpatrick got put on lockdown twice. I'm just saying, and he was doing it to a city that was already on the verge of total dilapidation,
And all the Black people that lost their homes up there. You had people from Scandinavia that were buying homes at $4,000 a pop for those little snatch homes,
Yeah, he got in trouble for giving contracts to his homies. I think his daddy was one of them, and
dad was
he was doing a lot, and he went and then got out and then started doing it even more. So, and KP, thank you for the donation. I think it was KP, was it? Let's see. Yes, KP, thank you for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. Okay. Also, Miss Sweet Talk, she says, YouTuber Pink Book Lessons, I've been exposed to City Girl Mayor for over a year. This is crazy. Problem with people like your Pink Book Lessons and all of those, they're gossip sites. And so maybe a lot of people weren't really paying attention like they should. But now there's I think people have known about, but now it's really gone mainstream. Now people are starting to pay attention, but, good on her for, talking about it. Unfortunately, her content is, really seems to be kind of, exposing the Black woman, if you will. So, Michael, you said she and Jimmy Clyburn are similar in terms of selling their own people down the river. I don't even think that she's selling her people down the river. I think she big up in herself at the expense of taxpayers. I don't think she says she care about the people. You can't care about the people if you spending the people's money on you, But I wouldn't doubt that she's probably, got a lot of that money in her bank account, and the feds are going to find out, she pocketed a $300,000 salary for a mayor of a town of 20,000 people is extremely wild.
Well, wait, Dimitri, I think you're kind of confusing it. Her $300,000 salary comes from her supervisor position as a supervisor. She gets $53,000 as a mayor, and you combine them, that's where they come up with the $350-something thousand.
That ain't what this article said.
Yeah, no, there's two separate salaries. There's two separate salaries.
Hold on. I'm going to find it.
Yeah, there's two separate salaries because she's a part-time mayor, so they're not going to give her $300,000 to be a part-time mayor. About $50-something thousand she makes as a mayor, and about $290,000 as a supervisor. And that's where people are getting confused because
it seems like says here earlier this month she was slammed by her critics at a public meeting after she caused outrage by taking a $300,000 salary. Somebody else in the comment section said that she also has a supervisor job that's paying her $50,000, which brings the total, and a supervisor for the city alcohol something she's over at for the city, and it brings a total of $350,000.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They're combined together, but I think you got it switched backwards though. She doesn't make $53,000 as a mayor. Supervisor is like a county supervisor. She makes more as a supervisor. And that's where people are kind of getting confused because she has two different positions.
Can y'all see that here? Where I got my mouse? It says earlier this month she was slammed by her critics at a public meeting after she caused outrage by taking a $300,000 salary.
Right, at a supervisor's meeting. There's two different meetings. The last meeting that she locked people out of, that was a supervisor's meeting.
Okay. Let me.
But regardless, the combined salary between the two jobs is about $350,000. So it doesn't really matter. But
okay, so where did I leave off? Okay, let me catch up. And Lillian, how you doing? It says 2024 couch sitter, the peaceful revolution. 2024, the revolution will not be televised. Yes, indeed. KP says, see, I put Brandon in there too. Oh, yeah, he's doing the most as well. JB1, how you doing? Says that's what he said. And I love JJ. How you doing? Says all this makes me want to be Latino. Oh, you talking about Tyrese? Yeah, what was going on with that, right? JB1 says he said, man or woman, there's no difference. Power absolutely corrupts. Easy says Kwame been out of jail and have a church, South Atlanta. And Mike, if I didn't already, how you doing? You says Democrats stay in power because Black people put them there, because in their minds, as long as it's not them, racist Republicans not challengeable. And thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you. I agree with you. I mean, but again, I'm trying to figure out why her, out of all the possible people they could have put in there. Kev J says, black people aren't the only people voting Democrats, will stop it. Not the only, but disproportionately, overwhelmingly, black voters vote for the Democrats. So Miss Sweet Talks says, the city girl mayor has support from OGs with power in Dalton. There's no way she should have been mayor. Yeah, something is going on. Brother Don, how are you today? Till Doggy says, Kwame is the shame of my family's HBCU family, is that what you mean? Shaking my head. Easy says, this social media will tell on your ass. You ain't lying. It's like you putting all that on social media. It's crazy, but as I said, fame is a hell of a drug. Turner, you say, sorry, people, politics and politricians aren't going to save nor help black people. Wake up. Absolutely. Damon says, red and blue are both racist. $300,000. What the F? Big boots. He says, I bet the feds were watching her while she was in D.C. Possibly. Miss Sweet Talk says, yes, Pink Book Lessons is a bash black women agenda. I had a back and forth with her before. Definitely more gossip than substance. And I think that's probably why people really didn't pay attention to it. Edwin, how you doing? It says, whoever wrote the article got it wrong. Okay. So you're saying, what are you saying is wrong? Black America, how you doing? It says the black woman is messing things up. And Pink Books are just pointing those things out. Yeah, okay. One who cares, how you doing? It says, good evening, Demetri K. Donovan in chat. Thank you both for your hard work and thank you for being here. Easy says, selfish, all for self, city girl. Okay. And Kev J says, Pink Book be dropping facts. Donnie says, it was all a grift. I use the Democrat thing, but they be riding in our paid limousine. Pamela, he says, what we have here is a failure to communicate. Tawana, how you doing? Says she changed the law so that the next mayor can only make $25,000 a year. So she did change it because I saw that she was trying to. So she was successful in doing that.
Yeah, that's for supervisor.
Yeah, because it said that for the mayor. And Miss B says
that's wrong. So I just linked. If you look at your private chat, I linked you the actual salary from the city.
Okay, I can't click on it right now. It'll click me out. Hey, Miss B, how you doing? He says, hey, Demetri Donovan in chat. I hit the like button. Thank you so much. And Damon says, I'm used to PC putting the screws to us, but our own, I have zero tolerance. Yeah. And unfortunately, we can continue to give them pass. I mean, she's not rare. You got your Sheila Jacksons, you got your Maxine Waters, you got your James Clyburn. So we kind of just give them a pass because they're black. And you'd be surprised to see a lot of people say, well, the white man is doing it. They don't say that when the white man is doing it. Like, now, damn well, as long as you've been a citizen of the United States of America, you cannot do what the white man does and expect to get away with it. So it's a stupid argument. It really is. Okay. Michael says, I am old school when it comes to sharing information on social media. I am from the 1990s era. All right. And Edward says the numbers about salary. Okay, got you. Thunder says something strange just happened. I went to go vote. They asked me which party ballot do I want. I asked for the Republican ballot, and the smiles went to absolute silence. Didn't look at me afterwards. And Easy says, how many more black towns do we need to lose with this already hostile takeover? Well, that's kind of on the voter. Miss Sweet Talks, you say, how was she able to change the salary to that low amount? I need to study the law more.
She had a vote on the board of supervisors that changed that requirement. That's all you got to do is have a vote and have a bunch of your cronies, majority vote. It was changed. If she loses, it goes to 25,000. If she doesn't, it doesn't change at all.
Right. Thunder says they have some very good propositions on ballot this time. Donovan says the median income of Dalton doesn't come close to supporting a mayor of $300,000. Yeah, but somehow she's getting it up out of them.
Yeah, it's two different things. I just sent you the link. It's two different
things. But regardless, whether it's from the supervisor or it's from the mayor, is she not getting that kind of money?
Yeah, she's getting that kind of money. Gotcha. But again, the supervisor, it's a bigger pool to come from. The median income of Dalton is what, $32,000. There's no way she could support a mayor.
So how much does it say a supervisor is getting?
Her supervisor is about $285,000.
Is that standard?
Yeah.
So a supervisor for the city.
Supervisor for the county. The supervisor is equivalent to the county.
Because I know they said too, she's getting like something because of alcohol. She's a supervising alcohol license.
Yeah, she's the supervisor is the czar of the alcohol thing as well. So up north, they have some really weird rules and stuff that's different than what we're used to down here. But as a supervisor, she has more cities to control. That's why the white folks were pissed off that she locked them out of that meeting and adjourned it after 4 minutes. That's why she ran, because she knows when it comes to the white folks, it's going to be a different scenario versus screwing over the black folks.
Right. Now, Facts Not Feelings says women should not serve in stressful political offices where she is responsible for the health and safety of thousands of millions of people. Women are not designed to take on lots of stress for long. Where y'all getting this from? Where are y'all getting this from? I like to know where y'all getting this information from. Let's see here. Hello, Black Women Stand Up. How are you? Turner says her next gig has already been secured for helping Massa. Maybe if that's why she was in the White House. Everyone says if we don't stand up, we lose. Absolutely. Kev J says the trustees have no power. And Damon says she is straight pimping and then some. Okay.
Let me answer the question about the trustees have no power. No, it's the same thing. You have the executive, you have the judiciary, and you also have the lawmakers, right? Just like when Trump was in office, he was like, "What? I can do this," and he just did it. That's the power she has. The trustees could only approve budgets and do, they have their form of it, and then she has her form of it, and basically she could just run roughshod just like Trump did and doing what he wanted to do, and worry about it in court later on. That's where the judiciary comes in and determines who has the right thing to do. But as long as she has the executive pin, you can pretty much do whatever you want because it was built in like that. These people make a law, right? She can override the law by executive order. Have you guys heard of the Dreamers Act? How did Biden do that? They're still trying to decide it in the courts. That isn't a law. It's a pseudo law. Executive pin. I can get rid of student debt. I don't need to send it to the court, to Congress. I can do it by executive pin. There's nothing in the Constitution that says I can't. And that's how she's operating. The chief executive officer, which is the mayor of the city, has certain duties that, if challenged, has to go through court. If not, they're going to continue to do what they're going to do, and they're going to do what they're going to do. And that's how it works.
They say blame it on alcohol. All right, so let's see here. Fast Not Feeling says the city girl mayor does not care that migrants will take over that town in a few years if she does not get her act together and protect the town and the people there from losing everything. And then Proud Man Champion says if Biden wins, she will be the next Treasury Secretary. I hope not. D said, Easy says, D, I bet with all the negative attention she bringing, change in the demographics is coming. Possibly they're like, yeah, she off the chain. Send some of them over there. You know what I mean? Kev J says this ain't a woman versus man thing. Y'all focusing on the wrong thing. That ain't me. That ain't me doing that. It's just not. Facts Not Feeling says, Dimitri, I love you, but women have a role and men have a role. We should not mix them. I happen to know that women can handle a lot of stress. We do all the time. Should we? I don't think anybody should handle a lot of stress, but trust me, women are more than capable of handling stress. You'd be surprised. Big Boot, she said one of her employees, Keith Price, made threats on Facebook to Dalton residents. Dang, they gangster for real, huh? Tawana says bank threatened to repossess village of Dalton's vehicles due to $76,000 overdue payment. I mean, $76,000. I don't even know why she's able to even have direct control of the money like that, unless she's got some strong influence somewhere. Black America says, I love that statement. Facts Not Feeling okay. Impress, how you doing? You said so true. You also say the same. He can write out reparations check. Thunder says it's around this time of year. Gary Monroe kept us abreast of political issues and events. Yes, indeed. RIP to him. It's been almost a year.
Somebody's gonna go to jail.
Yeah. It's been almost a year since he's been gone. I think April has been. Turner says, anyone who believes this woman is doing any of this exhibited behavior on her own violations, idiot. It says, surface level thinking instead of root cause analysis will continue to lead to our demise. No, I definitely think she does have some sort of help, if you will, because it just seems kind of odd that she's going there. But come on, the music at the city hall and Nino Brown's like, what's going on here? You know, Donovan, you put in the link. The Thornton Township salaries, highest salary at Thornton Township was 2022, 226,000. Number of employees at Thornton Township was about 130. Okay. All right. And so Empress, says the same way they can cut our reparations check to the FBA families. Michael said, Demetri and Donovan, don't forget that the Supreme Court can overturn an executive order that is deemed unconstitutional. Yes, if it's unconstitutional, absolutely. One who cares says, hopefully she won't win. I just don't see them voting for her because they tried to have her recalled. So the next election is 2025. It don't sound like people are really in love with her. So yeah, this might be her last dance at the rodeo. Donovan says, men have always led since the beginning of time. That is not to be questioned. I'm just gonna keep reading. Michael says, Donovan, you disagree with Demetri about women handling a lot of stress because they are not built to sustain abuse, hostility, and misuse. Oh Lord. Don, you said the problem is that this country is completely out of order. This is the issue. No woman should have leadership over a man. That's the Most High's order. See, y'all know how I feel about that. If y'all really truly reading the Bible, you know that there was women in leadership positions in the Bible. I'm just saying. So to say that women should not be in positions of leadership over men, what was Deborah in the Bible? Was she not a leader of a leadership position over men? I mean, I'm just saying. Because I know also too, they say women, you know, shouldn't be in the church. She shouldn't be a pastor. Now I know per the way it was explained to me that women should not be apostles. Because if you know the nature of an apostle, apostles sometimes have to throw people out the church, like physically get physical with people who might be acting up. And so no woman was expected to do that role. So that's why it was explained to me by a very knowledgeable pastor and man. He says that, yeah, women can be other roles, but apostles, no. But to say women should not be in roles of leadership, I don't even know where we getting that from. Especially if we're going to quote the Bible. Let's see here. Michael said, Demetri, I agree with you that men and women can lead together. Now, if you're talking about your household or something like that, if you so desire to have your house set up like that, to where, you know, the man leads, which to me, I would like that, you know, to have a man that leads. But some people are like, hey, we both leading, you know, or the woman, you go ahead and lead, you know what you're talking about, hey, go to money, and you make the decision. So it just really depends on that particular household. But I think it depends. But we know that there's women in leadership all the time. And to say that women perhaps shouldn't be in roles of leadership because it's stressful and maybe she's not doing a good job, you know, not to play tit for tat, but, you know, predominantly men run this country. Men run this country. Men are at the helm of this country. And you think about the state of the United States right now as we speak. Who is at the helm of this country? It's predominantly men. So when
Nancy Pelosi, that's not true. Nancy Pelosi.
No, Nancy Pelosi, she walking tall and talking tough. That's about it. But it's always been at the leadership of men. Why is it that we're Tiffany Henyard, not to defend her, but she was the first female in that position. So I don't know what it was like before she got there. I'm imagining it was all right, you know, but I don't know. I'm just not want to agree that women shouldn't be in roles of leadership. I think it's ill-advised, and it's probably coming from a more emotional standpoint than a logical one, because women are roles, positions of leadership all the time. And Donovan, you may not have had a woman leader when you was in the military, but I'm sure there were women who were leading the troops. And
I did, and it was a nightmare, and it was catastrophic. I refused. Now, I'm a small man. I'm an average sized man. When I was in the military, I was about 150 pounds at the most when I was in the military. I'm 167 now. Even in our training, a woman could not drag me in a scenario from a airplane, and drag me out of the airplane because, of course, women don't have upper body strength, right? Do you know every time I would be paired up against a woman to fly with me, I pitched a bitch because I just knew I was in trouble with this woman. I mean, I just didn't want to put my life into that thing. Did I have to fly with them? Yes, I did. But I made it be known that I didn't care for that.
Yeah, but right. So in your situation, but that don't mean that women are in leadership roles that are doing a horrible job. I think it's very misogynistic. You know what I mean? So
no, there are a lot of roles, especially in the military, where women are doing very, very well, even in the flying squadrons and all that other stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying my experience with them, it wasn't good. And then when we were in the Middle East in the war fighting capability, I'm going to tell you, some of those women that were in command were making decisions based off emotion versus, here are the facts. Here's what's logical to do. Here's what we need to do. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people got hurt because these people were trying to be textbook smart and what they were taught at the academy and whatever, and it just didn't work out. So I was pretty pissed off about that because, again, she's the one in command. She's the one that's in charge, and I've got to follow her. But I let it be known that, hey, this blood is on your hands.
You better believe it, Damon. The most powerful piece on the chessboard is the queen. Now this here, because Brother Don told me to reread the book, says Deborah is the only woman who was both prophet and judge, alongside two other men in Israel's history, Moses and Samuel. It says the only woman among the 12 judges in the Old Testament. Her role shows that women weren't always inferior to men, since Deborah was called upon by God to deliver Israel. So I hope that helps. Well, absolutely, Damon. Absolutely. So Black America, I hope that that I just answered your question. Okay. Yes, she Empress, she was a judge as well. So for those people who like to use the Bible, as to say that women shouldn't be leadership, I impress upon them to read the Bible and really understand that. Now, was there a lot of women leaders? No, just like it is today, it's not a lot, but there are some. So if she was appointed by God, I think, as y'all say, the Most High, he has the final say so. He has the ultimate say so, I would think. Okay, so let's see. Let me skip down the road. She says, why can't all of our people do better when we get in these positions? It's very disappointing. I think because they've benefited from a culture of us. Well, they Black. I mean, I've seen in a lot of the comment sections, a lot of Black women are like, oh, it's just y'all need to leave Black women alone. It's because it's a Black woman. Y'all always messing with Black women. It's like, did you read what this lady is doing? If she was purple, nobody should be doing it, but it's not because she's a Black woman. So you're saying because she's a Black woman, she should just get away with chicanery and nonsense? She should get, because she's Black, and holding her to account, that means you're picking on Black women? Well, that's nonsensical.
Right. Demetra, in South Africa, the ANC has been in charge over there for almost 40 years now, and yet nothing predominantly has changed for Black people over there. But yet people will still back the ANC and have nothing to show for it. You went to Soweto and saw what you saw. Now we're talking about these people have been in charge for 40 years, and the condition that those people, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never been to South Africa and the Soweto, these people are living in basically cardboard boxes. Black folks, 4 to 6 million of them.
Right. Facts and Feels says there are a lot of roles where women do well, but not all roles are for women. Women need stop trying to be men. Brother Samuel, how are you doing this evening? I hope all is well. Turner, you say everything we see happening has been foretold to happen thousands of years ago. The only thing that will save us is our morality and submission to Allah, God. Don't believe this. Watch and see. Oh, we watching and we seeing a whole lot. It's all coming, like I said. And Turner, I know you're in the nation. And I read a copious amount of books, if you will, from the nation. My father insists upon it. And the things that I've been reading, especially in the Fall of America, we're seeing it come to pass right now as we speak. We're watching it. So, if there's ever any doubt as to what, was said by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, like you said, just watch and see. All you got to do is sit back and you're seeing everything unfold. So absolutely.
Yeah, Demetra, was it you that sent me I saw it on Facebook where it said America has two choices, either reparations or the destruction. Was that off of your page or something like that, where they gave those choices? And if you really think about it, that's what America has to come to right now. Either give the Black people the money that they deserve and and their reparations that they're supposed to get, or just sit and watch the destruction of this country. And I'm going to give you guys a big hand clap for the simple fact that when people, especially Democrats, come to you guys and they say, "Oh my God, you got to save democracy. It's on the ballot. Oh my God, this is what's going to happen." They're going to put you back in chains. God bless you guys for going like this. No fear, because hey, at this point, when you're at the bottom, what's going to happen? Even in a dictatorship, if you're at the bottom, there's nothing to fear. You can't lose anything. You only have to gain. Have you guys ever asked yourself in Cuba, why is it that the dark-skinned Cubans, which are 80% of Cubans, loved Castro? Why did they love Castro? You want to know why they loved Castro? Because he educated them, distributed land to them, and made sure they were taken care of. And he had 80% of the Black Cuban support. Think about it. They had nothing to lose.
Yeah, Miss, we talked reparation or destruction, and even more so, I was trying to find it in this book here, Fall of America, by Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He's talking about the weather. Watch the weather, and we hear Farrakhan talk about it often. Watch the weather, because it's more or less like the United States government have to atone for what they have done to Black people, and they have not done that. And so you're going to see a lot of things that are deemed to be rare and unseasonable, if you will, as far as the weather. We've seen that all over, right? With the floods, the raining and snowing in places that it does not ordinarily snow and rain, hurricanes, tornadoes, and a whole bunch of stuff. And so that's really God's reminder that, hey, you cannot do what you're doing to the chosen people and get away with it. So, just keep watching. I was trying to find the exact spot of it, but yeah, just keep watching. We're going to see it. So anyway, Brother Nine says Barak was head over Deborah. She was sent with him to fulfill prophecy, but God chose her to help deliver Israel. So the point is, Deborah was considered a leader in the Bible, in juxtaposition to y'all saying that women are not supposed to lead per that of the Most High. We know that God is not the author of confusion. He is not a man that he should lie. So if it's in this Bible that y'all say is true, which I have my doubts about some of the stuff in the Bible, but if y'all say it is true, either he's telling the truth or he's lying or what? What are we saying here? But to keep saying that, it has been debunked a million times that the Bible does not say women cannot be leaders. It does not say that. So I just want to be clear. And I don't even go to church, but like I said, I have studied the Bible. Both of my degrees come from a Baptist college, spent a copious amount of time in church, born in the Nation of Islam. So I think I got just a little bit under my belt. I try not to say things that I can't back up, but I do not like to cause confusion either, but just to keep trying to, but the other thing is, what if everybody don't believe in the Bible? Well, what if everybody don't believe in that? So what else do we have to back up that women should not be in a leadership position other than your personal experience? Hell, the lady at the lunch counter, in the lunchroom, she in a leadership position. She manages. I'm just saying, it's like, what are we doing here? When men went off to war, you had women in leadership positions while the men were off fighting. You had women who entered into the workforce and were serving as leaders in some capacity. So I think it's just ill-advised and to just keep going along with that. And we live in a day and age where women are going to lead. They are. There's nothing you can't push the genie per se back in the bottle. And I know at one point in time in some civilizations that was the case, but it's not the case anymore. Let's see here. Okay, let's get down. If I didn't already, Mike Nice, I think I said hello to you, but I'll say hello to you again. I thank you, Tia, so much for the compliment. It's getting hot, so I have to put it up. Yes, rolls are not set in stone. Michael, you said Dimitri Donovan, Cuba has universal health care, and white Cubans don't like black Cubans. Yes, that is true. Black America says, did somebody delete my comment? I have not touched anything, deleted nothing. I don't have the ability to do it from my end. Yes. Let me skip down. Common Man says, yep, Cuba has one of the highest educational rates in the world. Yes. And you can thank Che Guevara and Fidel Castro for that. That is a big change that they made when they overthrew it was Bautista, I think it was. Let's see. Facts, not feelings. I didn't say that she was the norm, but when you deal in absolutes, I'm gonna find something to say it ain't absolute. And Deborah proves that it's not absolute. Because we want to talk about the Most High. So I went to the Most High's manual, if you will. Okay. Let me skip down. Favorite Virginia, how you doing? She says she's like the female version of Nino Brown. She thinks she is, right? The Woke Breaker, how you doing? Empress says Deborah was chosen to speak on behalf of the Most High. Yeah, yep. No, we ain't talking theology, but it came up. I try to get away from that because it says one thing you should not try to discuss publicly is religion and politics and some other stuff. Common Man says the operative word is woman, not old ass little girls. That's why we have matriarchs. Facts Not Feelings says when the war happened, women were entered the workforce not as leaders but as workers. They were led by men. So you trying to tell me that there was not one woman leading somewhere? Not one?
Well, I'll tell you that we're talking about war. I know that when World War II started, to get the planes and stuff out of the factories and flown to where they were going, they had a thing called the WAC, the Women's Air Corps. That was all a woman's organization. Of course, Eleanor Roosevelt also championed that, as well as the Tuskegee Airmen.
Hey, Virginia says, I've been okay, and I've been coming a long way. Well, I'm glad to hear that. So we are about an hour and 12 minutes in. Y'all want to talk about something else, or y'all want to open the link?
Yeah, we'll talk about something else, but I'm going to ask you the question in summary. So what do you think the city girl mayor should be doing in what is going on, in your opinion?
Well, clearly she should be doing the job that she was elected to do, and that's be for the people, not for herself. As you said, anybody in a position of leadership, you're supposed to be of service. But unfortunately, people get it wrong and they think they are to be served. And so that's clearly what she thinks it is, running a city like, New Jack City, as somebody said to Carter. Yeah, she needs to go. And they better not make the mistake again of electing her in office, and she's trying to force herself to stay up in there. I mean, I also think that she should go to jail if she's found, doing something she should not be doing. But I think anybody who gets in a position of leadership should be made an example of if they're not doing what they are supposed to be doing. And the people send you there to do a job, and you get in there and say, psych, now I'm going to do what I want to do. Yeah, no. And I feel bad for them that they weren't able to recall her. As we know, recall elections are expensive, and she's
it is hard to get those signatures. It is hard to knock on the doors and get those signatures. Yeah. People are so tuned out in politics.
Yeah, and then she talking about I'm not going nowhere. So if you really said you're there to do the will of the people, well, the people don't want you there no more. You know what I mean? So get up, give up the ghost.
Right, and let me add this to you guys. Do you guys know when you're in front of Walmart and you got those signature guys talking about, hey, brother, come over here and sign this. This will get rid of the homelessness and whatever. They happen to know most people that back those signature petition things are developers, and they want what they want. And what that does is it overrides the council's decision within the city to put it either on the ballot or the vote. And people are so misinformed. This is why you see in a lot of cities nothing getting done, because the administration will vote this and say, we need to do this. Then the signature ballot goes out, and then people just sign it. They don't even know what they're signing and stuff like that. And then the very people who wanted that hospital, right? You're all for the hospital, but that petition you signed didn't say anything about a hospital. But you signed it, and now you ain't got the hospital in your community. And this is what happens. And Demetra knows, in my city, we went through 7 years of corruption and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and we're still going through it at a little minute aspect. But when you see those signature writers, read exactly what they're asking you to sign, because I guarantee you will find out you're signing away your rights to habeas corpus, whatever it is, and you don't even know it. And this is why a lot of stuff doesn't get done, because we're going to do this for the people. The developer doesn't like it. We're going to do this. I don't want to pay tax. And that's how it works. And how did I find that out? By going to my city council meetings and getting involved in what was going on in my city.
Pamela, you say, what about the gold sneakers? We talked about that on Sunday a little bit. I mean, the gold sneakers are that of Trump's creation, and they sold out. Sounds like he made a lot of money. I never knock a hustler. If he's getting it out the mud, honestly, I never knock a hustler. But as I said, the gold shoes are neither here or there with me, because people, it's amazing to me actually that people are mad about Trump's gold shoes or focusing on the gold shoes, but you nary a peep about what Joe Biden is or is not doing for Black people. And, people are mad about him charging with $300 something for the sneakers. It's like a lot of Negroes running around here with shoes that cost more than that and don't know how they're going to pay their light bill next month. So to talk about, oh my God. And it's like you're only mad because it's Trump that's doing it. You know what I mean? But I don't care if he's selling the gold shoes. Trump is a salesman. He a hustler. And a lot of people at one point in time aspired to be like Trump. Nowadays, they trying to, fake the funk, saying, no, they was, Trump's this, that, and the other, but everybody wanted to be like Trump. What was that, Nelly? He says, Donald Trump, let me in, So
the Time has a song on the Pandemonium album called Donald Trump Black Version. You listen to that one.
Right. Now, all of a sudden, he public enemy number one. But yeah, so let's see here. So y'all want the link open, or y'all any? I'm trying to think what else is there. There's a lot of stuff we could talk about. I'm trying to think. Tia says they had rap songs about Trump. Yeah, up until the time the man got around for president, all of a sudden everybody hates him. It's just like, I don't know. I'm one of those people, there's a lot of stuff that you can be mad at, but I try to focus on the things that I have direct control over, things that I really could do stuff about, but I can't, I'm not going to buy the shoes, Well,
can I ask everybody in the chat a question? And I want you guys to really think about this. Have you guys noticed, if you're a Democrat, every election cycle, democracy's on the line. This is it. Have you noticed that every Republican is the devil? Remember Bob Dole? Oh my God, he's going to do this. Just recently, Biden said they're going to put you back in chains. All this fear tactic and these fear mongering that they do, and they demonize the other side. And of course, the other side demonizes our side, whatever. But for us, it's more emotional for us because, we're so down into that Bible, oh my God, the Christianity in us, and, oh my God, whatever the deal is. But have you guys noticed that they demonize every Republican person that comes in? Oh, democracy is on the line. You got to do something. Every election cycle, when Obama and Mitt Romney was running, oh my God, if Mitt Romney gets in there, he's for the rich. It's over for you guys. Every election cycle. Have you guys not seen this pattern? And unfortunately, a lot of you guys are waking up and it's not working. So good up to you guys.
Turner, you say happy Savior's Day. Sister Demetra, and back at you, Brother Donovan. Says that Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan will be addressing the entire planet on Sunday at Savior's Day in Detroit, Michigan. Watch, listen for guidance. Yes, I watch every year, so I do plan on watching this Sunday. I always like to take a copious amount of notes because, I don't need to tell y'all, Farrakhan drops a bunch of, instructions, really is what they are, So I deem it a pleasure, and I need to actually get to Savior's Day. I was going to try to go with my father this year, but he wasn't able to go. So for different reasons, so he'll be next year, and I plan to go with him next year. So, but I will definitely be tuned in. Michael, you say open the link. What you want to talk about, Michael? Let's see here. Uh, Pamela says, all I know is he told the truth about the border. He talking about Trump. And Common Man says, I wish I would have known he was selling them. I would have bought a pair. Yeah, somebody bought a pair for I think $9,000 or $11,000, a signature. And those would be collector's items, whether we like it or not. Edwin, how you doing? It says same old playbook. Michael says, I noticed, but Dems are more covert in their approach. Yes, indeed. And hello, Miss White. How are you? It says, hi, Dimitri and Donovan. I like Trump's shoes. Donovan, are you close to the flooding in California?
All our counties in Southern California are on flood watch. So,
man, and we got sunny weather here. We get into California weather. It's sunny. I'm gonna go outside this week, and I'm gonna get me a little tan. I'm used to being tan as being from California, but I don't go outside much, so I'm gonna be out there this week.
Yeah. This is that second storm that's going to come across the United States. So you guys will be getting it within the week. So be ready.
Right. Facts Not Feeling says, did you guys read about the apartheid government going after the needy Panda South African foreign minister? I have not heard anything about that. I watched a little bit of the UN proceedings today when they were trying to vote for a ceasefire. And of course, that don't sound like that was successful, as the United States was the only one that was against. United Kingdom, they abstained, and everybody else voted for a ceasefire. So,
and I want you guys to understand this. The Biden administration has said they're going to send aid to Hamas to help those people. Are you guys paying attention? What good? Now, I'm a military guy. What good is aid being sent if Israel is stopping the shipments? We're just throwing money for no reason. Israel has said they are not letting shipments in. So how is that going to help the Palestinian people if they're not letting the aid come in? But where's the outrage? But Trump is the boogeyman. Wow. It's crazy.
I know, absolutely. So I'm trying to think what else is trending. I'm tired, y'all. I've been up early, hitting the ground running. Facts Not Feeling says, Dimitri, will you get the tan line? I ain't gonna get no tan lines now. As I'm not one to really show my body as much as I used to, and not that I was even showing it like that. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I'll tan as much as I can. I usually like to go running when it's sunny, and then the sun will get me that way. I tried to lay out here a couple times, but the mosquitoes they won't let me be great. So I'm gonna pass on that. Horton, how you doing? You say seriously, they're sending aid to Hamas. And Easy says, bro, U.S. is totally complicit with Israel. Yeah, and of course you guys know we kind of try to stray away from the conversation about that for obvious reasons, but I would one day love to be able to talk about that. Hey, Pop, how you doing? Good evening to you as well. Y'all crazy. No, I like to get a little bit more a tan on my face or whatever the case is. I don't even know what's really like trending. Y'all throw some in the comment section if y'all want to talk about something.
Well, you like award shows. Did you not watch the award shows? And I guess Beyonce dropped something about her album during Usher's performance and stuff. So what is your take on that? Because I know you're a big Usher fan as well.
So during the Super Bowl, rather, Beyonce had a commercial. I think it was Verizon. And at the end of the commercial, she said it kind of really quick, new music. So everybody went wild, like, oh my God, she's dropping new music because she has a 3-series album that she is putting out. So she had the Renaissance, and then this one is a country and Western one. I forget the name of it. Then she's going to have a 3rd installment. So, of course, that kind of took attention away from the Super Bowl in general, I would say, because, people were like, oh my God, she's dropping a new album. But of course, with her country and Western album now, A lot of the racists in the country arena, if you will, are saying it's not country. And what's his name? John Schneider from the Dukes of Hazzard. He had an interview where he likened her to a dog. Says just like dogs, they like to mark their territory and get in everything. And so he got a lot of backlash about that. There's a country station somewhere, I forget, I think it's Arkansas, that would, or Oklahoma, one of them, didn't want to play her album. And they said, well, we don't play Beyonce. Well, the Beehive has something to say about it. They called and rang that damn phone off the hook. Then they took to their ex Twitter and said, we got Beyonce coming up. And they said that they hadn't used their Twitter for in like years, but they used it that day to basically say, all right, we gonna play her song. And the song, I think, is trending, or was at #1. I like the song, but the argument was a country belongs to us, and that's the white people, right? And it's like, now y'all know the only thing that belong to y'all is mayonnaise and casseroles. That's the only thing that belong to y'all, okay?
And maybe some Beethoven and Mozart.
Yeah, and then they even said Beethoven, I think, was black. You know what I mean? So, you know, but that's ours. That belongs to us too. Do your history. I saw somebody did the history of the banjo, which is what she used in the song. That's true country, right? Well, the banjo comes from the motherland. And then, of course, them folks, you know, took it as their own, and they, you know, running away with it. It's like, ain't nothing original to y'all. Y'all can't make a move unless we make a move. But to talk about she ain't country, I mean, hell, she from Houston, Texas. And there's a copious amount of evidence that Beyonce has been country or delved into country, you know, the genre before. But you know what it is it's just like everything we as black people do. We get in a sport, golf, we snatch it from them. You know what I mean? Everything we get in, we snatch it from them, and they hate that. They really hate that. So I love that Beyonce is making a country album, because I like that she's like, not only am I gonna make a country album, but I'm taking it back. It belongs to us. And I hope she does a rock and roll album on her 3rd installment, because guess what? That belongs to us too. So they just have to just deal with it. So, Michael, not today, sir. He said, I got a solution. You always have a solution, and then it'll be some foolishness. Not all the stuff you say is foolishness, but you be doing all right until you say stuff like Trump is going to give me and Donovan $50 million a piece. And it's like, okay, let's see here. You know, when people get to scratching their head, it is time for them to lay down. Easy says, be getting a lot of hate about her country album. Yeah, but they, you know, they don't like, to me, it's not surprising. They don't like nothing black people do. And but see, this is the other problem too. The other problem is we as black people don't gatekeep our stuff. We're always allowing them to come to the barbecue, to the picnic, and they get up in that mug. And as I said in one of my videos, they get grandma's recipe to the mac and cheese, auntie recipe to the greens and all that. And they take it and try to pass it off as they're on their own while they're at the cookout. But they don't invite you to theirs. Not that I'm trying to go, because, you know, they don't know what Lowry's is and nothing like that. But that's what they do, because we don't gatekeep. We look, I mean, if you don't believe me, look online. They do a twirl, you know, and then they're like, oh, look at them. And then we Negroes posted all over the place. And look at this white person. They doing this, they doing that. It's like, and, you know, they get pats on the back for doing stuff mediocre. Black people got to be exceptional. But we pat them on the back because they did the electric slide without, you know, messing up.
Well, I don't know if everybody wants to hear about this, but I want your opinion on this. They are saying, there was an article, I believe, in USA Today a couple of days ago, when they're saying that Kamala Harris, Joe Biden needs to lean on Kamala Harris in regards to the black vote and what is going on. Now, I said, well, whoever's writing this, and it was a Jamaican guy, first generation immigrant Jamaican, he's writing this thing. Now, notice what I just said there. First generation Jamaican. Kamala Harris is a first generation Indian Jamaican, not black, Indian Jamaican. And he wrote this article that was so like, what the Democrats got to do is like lean on Kamala, put her out there, doing all this great stuff, and and just she's ready, she's ready to lead and all this other stuff. Now, Kamala was supposed to be the czar on the border. How did that work out? She couldn't win a primary or an electorate in her own state. But Dimitri, my question is this. What is your take in regards to a second Biden and Kamala turn? Because the way Biden is going, and by the way, did you guys notice he froze up for the second time? Did you guys see when Biden froze up? That was pretty scary to me because he was in mid-thought. Which means if this administration is reelected, which is, you would be dumb to reelect an administration that can't do nothing for you. You would be dumb to reelect these people, because if you didn't get nothing in the first term, he can't run a third term, so he has no obligation to do anything for you. What's basically going to happen here? What is your opinion about this writer who's trying to talk up Kamala Harris as this is the person that the Democrats need to lean on because she's younger, there's no doubt about that, to push the Democrats over the finish line against Trump?
I mean, clearly they have a leftist agenda. But yeah, I was reading an article this morning. Biden's at like a 39% approval rating. Kamala's at a 36% approval rating. But yeah, they are trying to put her out there, to make her look more presidential, saying that they're going to need to lean on her a little bit more. But they said, the article, I said, don't be surprised if they do come to a decision that, hey, Biden is going to have to step down, because I don't think they can hide it anymore, that something is going on with him. And Kamala, God bless her, but nobody really, wants her. They say she actually has one of the lowest approval ratings ever. And again, I think we got to concede into that because they perceive her to be black, whether she is or not. I'm just putting that out there. And, her job she's done is kind of, but yeah, they're going to have to. Yeah, but I think people need to really come to terms with, if they are reelected, which I don't know, that she is a very real possibility that she may become president. I mean, and then looking at Joe Biden, is he going to make it to November? So if he doesn't, she may become president sooner than we think. And then what? What does a Kamala presidency look like? Is she going to run it like Nino Brown? I don't know. What does that look like? So I think people really should have been concerned about that in 2020 when Joe Biden was still considered to be the oldest president in history. Now he's even older. They should have thought about that then. What happens if because I think he was showing signs of wonkiness even then, but they decided to go forward, and again, they're going to try and go forward. I don't know. So it's a mess, but I wouldn't be surprised if they say, yeah, we're going to have to switch it up.
And last question for you tonight from me. There's this new thing that the Democrats have unveiled to Black people. Why is it that they don't take us seriously, but they want our votes? The hip hop, what is it called? The hip hop delegation, or whatever the thing is.
Something like that, yeah.
Jamal Bowman came out with this. Now, I know music is supposed to change. Or didn't they try that in the 70s, where music was supposed to change the world, and all this other Jefferson Starship and all these other people? This man, the Democrats have come out and said that the Hip Hop Summit, have you guys heard of this? If you tell me if I'm wrong or not, how I call it. The hip hop delegation is now going to address specific Black issues. Why would we need a hip hop delegation to address issues that the CBC is supposed to do? So what is your take on that? Is this another idea of disrespecting and pandering to Black people?
You think? Where is the rock and roll delegation for white people, or the Celtic the Celtic ensemble choir delegation for white people? Where's the yodeling delegation for white people? Where's the mariachi delegation for Hispanics? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but again, they study us and they know, let's keep it low hanging with them, right? They like that. Why do you think they give you strolling to the polls, stripper buses to the polls, no voting, no bucking? Because they know that we are carnal in a lot of things that we do, right? So let's keep it there. You look at the banter online, and it's not even friendly between Black people. You got rappers beefing, talking crazy. You got comedians now, they beefing. Black men and women can't stand each other. So they're like, these Negroes ain't really trying to learn nothing new. They like to argue. So, we'll put the hip hop delegation in there and they can pop their fingers and all this other stuff. And let me tell you something. I love LL Cool J. You've been raccooning a lot lately. But I don't want him to tell me nothing about politics, okay? Nothing at all. But they give us that because that's where not all, but they deem our intellect to be there with hip hop. But think about it. But those of you guys who big up the Democrats and stuff, ask yourself, why don't they do that for any other community? Make their musical choice their leaders. They don't. They only do that to us. Why? Because they don't take us seriously. They know they can we give you fish fries, line dancing, Sheila Jackson, old ass Lee, up at the club, making a special appearance like she's, Cardi B or something. And people go nuts for it. It's just like it's almost like it's so weird, it's like just bring them to Chitlin Circuit and give them a good time, like I'm for real. Think about on the conservative side, the Republicans. When the last time you seen people dancing and buffoon? I'm trying not to use the raccoon word because we can show, but when you don't see them buffooning like you do us, we dancing. Come on. Why? We're Black people. We're actually really smart, but we do too, keep us down. Like I tell y'all get in the car and listen to urban radio. That's all they talk about. Get to the polls. Oh, you got to get to the polls. It's loud and it's blaring and it's, and it's like, but turn to the other radio stations where white people listen to. It's cool, it's calm, it's collected. They ain't on there, vote. Got, these old ass politicians on the radio talking about Barack Obama came here and Barack Obama would endorse them last time. And I'm like, then you got Ricky Smiley Morning Show. They on there talking. They're so ill-informed. It's crazy. They always have like 1/4 of the information. Oh, well, we know we can't get Trump back up in there. But it's like y'all don't never say nothing about what Biden is doing. Like never. So a hip hop summit or whatever it is, that don't surprise me. It don't. Because that's where they think our intellect is. I mean, all last year, the 50th anniversary of hip hop, every Negro and their mama in the entertainment field ran around talking about hip hop this, hip hop that. Kamala with her pants all the way up under her boobs. She was dancing to hip hop. I think maybe she thought Tupac and Fife were there. I don't know. But that's the kind of stuff they give us. And we'll show up for that. We think that's cool. That Kamala can dance. She's popping her fingers and wagging her flat booty. We think that's, oh gosh, did you see, the vice president? She was really out there. Kamala didn't look like she really wanted to be there. She probably like, do I have to? You mean they're coming to my house? My yard? Because that's where they were, at the vice president's house. So it's because we don't demand better. They should be shunned.
And you saw the look on Doug's face. He was like, oh my God, we got to do this. I've got friends that are looking at this.
Because I'm already pretending like I like greens. Damn. We got to have them at the house too.
And notice Doug is a staunch Zionist. He's a staunch Zionist. So think about that, you guys. We talk about these policies. It's kind of funny how we are so ignorant in what is going on in the world, outside of the world, that we think, of course, we think America is all there is. Because like I said, it took Dimitri years to get outside of San Bernardino County, but she finally did it. So good for her. But how it's almost like all this stuff is as woven together. Like I said, there's no difference between a Democrat and a Republican. If you really get down to it, you got Donald Trump, who is actually a Democrat posing as a Republican, and you got Hillary Clinton, who was a Republican posing as a Democrat. It's deep. This goes deep. You talk about the deep state. This stuff goes deep. It's incredible.
Yeah, and you know what? The rappers are really trying hard to do that too. They are. They out there, on their social medias, trying to talk to Black people. It's like, shut up, okay? Only thing we want to hear you do is rap and tap. That's it. Don't be talking to me about who I need to vote for. And no, I don't take instructions from you, Plies. Plies is one of the ones out there talking bad about Trump, and we need to get, he talking about he turned on by Fonnie Willis. It's like, if you don't shut your up, that turned me on when she was talking to them. It's like, you are a fool.
That's what you call a beta male, right there. That's a beta male, right there.
It's just crazy. But yeah, we don't demand. I'm reading our comments. We don't demand differently from them. That's why they give it to us. Like I said, when they put Saucy Santana and Trina, I like Trina. Okay, y'all judge me if you want to. I like Trina, but when she got up there with Saucy Santana talking about no voting, no fucking, I don't think I listened to a Trina song since. I didn't look at her the same, because it's like, no voting, no fucking. Which, if y'all don't know what that means, for some of y'all who just are out of touch, and I'm envious of that, by the way, if you are, no voting, no fucking. You put an F in front of the fucking, then basically they're saying, if your partner don't want to vote, then you don't give them no, you don't vote if they don't want to vote. And it's like,
vote Democrat. You got to be specific. If they don't vote Democrat, there's no voting.
Yeah, but do the Republicans talk like that? Do they tell their people, don't vote your man? And I'm saying with the V, not the F. Or your woman, if they don't vote. It's lunacy. It's almost like this is it's like a minstrel show or something. It's crazy. It's insulting. But they didn't even think twice. Gosh, you think they might be mad if we put a dude with a BBL and a beard out there, and Trina, who's a shake dancer, for lack of better words, and they got there telling Black people that, well, if they don't vote, don't vote. You think they'd be mad if we do? They're like, no, they'll be all right. They'll show up, and what happened? We showed up, and and I say we, I'm saying collectively, put Joe and Kamala in office out of no voting, no fucking, and some stale fish. So we put up with that. That's why they give it to us. If they did that one time with white folks, it'd be the last time they do it.
Well, the funny thing is, Demetra, and I know people, we saw an insurrection or whatever. Yes, it was an insurrection, but to me, January 6th was a message of the people telling their representatives, you are going to do what it is we tell you to do, or we're coming back here. That, if you look at how many have gotten in line with the Trump train, even though their lives were in danger, look at what they've done, and look at the ones that are like retiring. I think there's like 7 or 8 Republicans that are like, I'm out, forget this. And they were chairmen of committees, and they're like, we're gone, we're out of here.
Yeah. And Black America says, Miss D, you do a lot of whataboutism. It's not whataboutism. It's called critical thinking. It's called, I'm comparing and contrasting. What I'm saying is, in regards to the Republicans or white folks wouldn't do that to their people. They wouldn't. So I think it's an insult to our intelligence to say, oh, well, we need to spend a lot of money because I'm sure Trina and Saucy Santana didn't do it for free. We're going to spend that money to have them with the lowest hanging fruit, the most that's so disgusting if you think about it. Why does what I do in the bed have to be tied to whether I vote or not? Ain't that some sort of extortion or something? So it's like, who else, what other community gets that kind of content to get them to go do something? It's manipulation. It honestly is. And so it's not whataboutism, it's a compare and contrast. That's what people who are logical thinkers do. They have something to line it up with. And that's what I lined it up with. Show me the content on the right. Where is Tanya Tucker still with us? I don't know. Or Britney Spears. Now, maybe she's a bad example, but they don't use her, to say, get out there and shake your tailbone, and get them out there to vote. I don't know. Do they do that kind of stuff? They don't. Where's the Asian woman at that's busting it open and dropping down and getting an eagle on the bus and talking about get on, we're going to the polls, where they at? Where's the Mexican woman or the Mexican Saucy Santana that's talking so disgustingly to their people?
Well, I challenge anybody in the chat. Show me a Republican-held area, not a rural area. I'm talking about like a Republican area that looks like a hood. Show me a Republican area that looks like a hood. Because here in California, when you go to a Republican-controlled area, and there's not a lot of them, it looks like Disneyland. It looks like pristine. But then you go to the Democrat areas, you got the migrants running around, you got the hood, you got the gunshots, you got the car chases. I mean, trash in the streets. This is Democratic areas. They put a stadium right in the middle of the predominant Black community in Los Angeles, where the Black people can't even afford tickets to even go to the damn game. It's like you said, it's lunacy.
Edwin, if I didn't already, how you doing? He says, what about Cornel West? I don't even think the brother, is he still with us?
Yeah, he popped up to do a message and stuff. But then again, you got to look at it like this. I mean, I'm not nothing against the brother Cornel West, but he's 73 years old himself. We need to put an age cap on the presidency. I mean, it's just obvious. These people need to go do something else. You mean to tell me out of almost 400 million Americans, we don't have younger people that have better ideas to move us forward in the 21st century? We're going to rely on people that were born in 1940, that were born during World War II to lead us into the new century? Oh, that's just a scary, scary mindset.
Yeah. And Easy says Sexy Red posing in bed after giving birth. It was actually for a video. It was for a music video with Drake and SZA. But yeah, the optics of it was not good at all. Yeah, Miss Sweet Talk says, where is Bruno Mars doing this behavior for votes? Yeah, I mean, they only do that to us. No, I was like, is this satirical? No voting, no fucking, for real? That's what they think. The Democratic Party honestly should have been done after that. With Black people, they should have been done because, back in the day, our people had some real standards. They wouldn't have did that to our ancestors. They would have been like, oh no, that's disgusting. Do not talk to us in that manner. We cannot relate. There was a good amount of us who rejected that messaging, but I would imagine there's a lot of, so-called forward-thinking people, Black people in that room. Oh yeah, I like that Saucy Santana. They like Saucy Santana. Listen, I ain't got nothing against Saucy Santana. Of course, I don't like a lot of the stuff I see from Saucy, but to think that Saucy Santana, I mean, like I said, it's kind of hard to focus on a dude with a beard wearing makeup rocking a BBL. I'm confused, but he gonna tell me what I should be doing politically. Black America says you think it's critical thinking, but it's not. It looks it looks at them, they're not doing it. Well, okay. The average logical thinker, how you doing? You say our hoods are ran by Black women officials. Yeah, and I would say both black men and black women are running. Probably it may be majority of women, black women that's doing it, but it's both. DJPG, how you doing? It says I'm gonna be working regardless if I vote or not. Facts Up says if we black men had our women in hijabs and covered up, Trina would not dare release a commercial about voting. Yeah, you're right. We that's the other thing too. There needs to be some respect brought back to the black woman, from the black woman, for the black woman in every way, shape, or form. Like I said, think of my mom's generation, they wouldn't have put up with that. They would have been like, are you for real? Who? Can you imagine they got Tina Turner bending over and shaking her booty? Vote. If you don't vote, then don't. Can you imagine that? My dad, he I imagine likes Tina Turner's music, but he's like that woman right there. That's not how any sister should be. So imagine if she was doing that back then. Tina Turner would not have shook not one more damn tail feather, and they would have saw to that. But us, we just accept anything.
Yeah, I hope you guys have noticed. I called Demetra's dad and made sure that she is covered up, and we're working on her hands. She's doing a good job, but we got to get her hands covered, some gloves and stuff like that. So there you go. See, nothing more sexier than a covered up hand.
Yeah, and I talked about that earlier on the podcast. I just think it's best to wear as much clothes as possible. Especially if we're going to keep, and I'm speaking from a woman's point of view, the men focus. As I tell you guys all the time, my grandmother said that to my auntie. If you use meat to catch a man, you're going to wind up with a dog. Farrakhan talks about it all the time. It says, women, you put some clothes on, because when you don't, unfortunately, it does bring the dog out of us. You can control what we see. Now, I don't need to tell y'all, a man going to see through that. Somehow y'all got x-ray vision some damn how. Y'all see through a burlap sack, so we don't need to give him everything all at once, right? Make him use his imagination. So yeah. Hey, Brother Sammy, how you doing? Are you in Chicago yet? Are you on your way? Savior's Day, of course, is coming up this weekend. The minister will be delivering, as they say, God willing, the Savior's Day address that I will be tuned in for from beginning to end. So I press upon you to check it out. You can go to noi.org, and it is going to be streamed there. noi.org. Easy, you say. My bad. Stand corrected. Thanks, D. And I'm sorry, I don't even know what that was. Michael says, Dimitri and Donovan, Claudia Dela Cruz is a young candidate fighting for cash payment reparations. FBA, ADOS. I have to check her out. You keep telling us about it, so I will definitely have to check her out. Miss Sweet Talk, she says, facts. Age cap, but it's discrimination against the elderly. We need to change the laws. Yeah, it's called ageism, so you have to kind of be careful. You can't do that. But I think when there's calls like they may not have all their faculties, then yeah, you might want to go on the Shady Pines.
Yeah, well, the things I'm going to disagree with that for the simple fact that not everybody can run for president. And I'm going to tell you, it's not ageism for the simple fact that they have requirements of how old you got to be president. So that would be ageism right there. Why can't we have a 19-year-old president? But the law, according to the Constitution, says you got to be 35. So if they could put an age requirement to be president, then you can put a cap on it as well. And again, it's not like you're in the workplace and it's an average everyday work. We're talking about the presidency of the United States. That's why he can only run 2 terms. That's discrimination as well too. If people want this guy to run 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, why not let him run if that's what the people want, right? See, so in that aspect, it's a little bit different in how you got to look at things. To me, it would not be ageism to cap the age to be president. Now, don't get me wrong. If I'm 69 and let's say they say the age cap is 70, right? But I win an election before I turn 70, yeah, I could go over that. I mean, that should be grandfathered in because I won an election before I turned 70. But they can cap it if they want to. But again, your lawmakers could do anything they want if they want to do it. That's what we got to understand. These lawmakers have made it seem Like their hands are just absolutely tied. Notice that in the 90s, they kept giving themselves raises. They kept doing this. They kept doing that. We told them we don't want aid going over to other countries, but they somehow found the votes to send aid to Israel and Ukraine and all that other good stuff. We got to get out of the mindset about what these people can't do. They can do what they want to do. It's just if they made a law that said men are now slaves and it goes into law, it's a law. The 14th Amendment is still on the damn books. If they want to make us a slave, we can still be slaves. It's just there. They can do what they want to do. We just got to get out of the mindset talking about, well, there's only so much they can do. That's ageism, whatever. All of that shit could be repealed if they wanted to do it.
I was reading some of these comments. Yeah, that's what I meant. Brother Samuel, Detroit. Yeah. My father, he had a procedure, so it's going to prohibit him from going this year, but next year we definitely will be in the building. Miss Sweet Talk says a man leads properly won't have to force his woman to do anything. She'll follow him regardless. I agree. In Black America, let's see. And there's a couple of the comments I want to get back to. And the panty line one is wild. You say the cat is out of the bag. We can't force our women to do anything. You can't force. It has to be your woman. And yeah, if she doesn't want to follow you, that's a problem. Maybe she's hard-headed. Maybe it speaks to you as a man. You know what I mean? And so it could be a combination of things. But yeah, you can only make or try to get your woman to acquiesce whatever it is you want her to do. Let's see here. Alonzo, how you doing? Says how much critical thinking is going on today with the youth. Their political acumen is not being challenged like prior generations. What do you think about the youth? What is their motivation to do so? I mean, honestly, if you really think about it, they got a lot of debt, not a lot of good sustainable resources to help take care of that. They can't buy homes. They can't buy homes. They can't move out of the parents' home. There's a lot going on. So what is their motivation to do anything? This generation has a lot to overcome, more so than our generation. I remember when I first got my first good job, if you will, early 90s. I was making $9 an hour. I could pay my rent, my car note, and take care of myself and my daughter. $9 an hour. Of course, that was in the 90s, but there's some places that are minimum wage is $7.25 an hour in 2024, and even a lot of these good jobs, they're not paying a lot or enough to keep up with the cost of living. And so you think about the youth, what is their motivation? They're like, I don't know what it's like to be able to take care of myself and, all of that. So what do I care? And it's sad.
Yeah, and then these employers that keep hiring these illegal migrants. Do you guys know what the penalty is for these corporations that keep hiring these illegal migrants? It's almost insignificant. That's why when they get caught, they keep doing it over and over and over again, because it's cheaper to just, hey, if we get caught, we get caught, but we get real cheap labor until we do get caught. But we can change these laws. I mean, to me, the minute that they get caught with that, you should shut them down. Depending on what the circumstances is, whatever the deal is. But this is why these migrants, another reason why these migrants are coming in here. America has never wanted to pay for labor. That's why they were so mad about giving up their slaves. They never wanted to pay a fair wage, ever.
Easy said, what am I cooking tonight? I actually did not cook.
Glory, get greens out of the can.
I don't know. Y'all can't see. Oops. No. My daughter, I'm going to tell you my daughter. Okay, we had steak tonight. Ribeye. When I tell you that she put her foot in that steak, it was rosemary infused with, I was so good. I was like, man, Donovan, I was doing like he was doing in South Africa. Man, that steak was it was good. She made mashed potatoes with it and sauteed green beans go on top of it. She made some I think it's called chimney to go on top of the steak.
Please explain to me, your daughter looks young, very voluptuous. She's very gifted from your mom's side and all that, your dad's side too, from what I understand. And can cook and educated. And she can't find no Southern gentleman down there. It just doesn't make sense to me. What is going on?
Yeah. When I tell you, yeah, my daughter can burn. Very, very impressive. Very impressive. Because I bought a new a cast iron skillet, and I did everything to it. They call it like seasoning it. So when you cook it, you cook with it, your food will come out right. And she used it for the first time. I was like, boy, I tell you, that was a game changer right there. But yeah, it was really good. My daughter is going to make some gentleman out there a very good wife. Smart, very smart. I mean, very knowledgeable. Donovan will tell you, whenever we travel, she make all the plans, all the arrangements. We going here, we going there. We went to Tokyo. Donovan, if it was up to me and Donovan to try to catch them damn subways, we'd have been lost. She's like, y'all not paying attention. Come over here.
Yeah, we would hit a couple spots and that would be it. We'd be sitting in the hotel just talking mess.
Yeah, but she mapped everything out. Everything we did, she mapped it out. We just followed, So it's like very, very smart, very resourceful.
And for those people that are in our age bracket and older, I'm gonna really tell you guys, if you're going on a vacation, get a younger person that knows these apps and how this stuff works. And I'm telling you, you are going to have a good vacation because they're going to give you ideas to try things that you probably never even thought you were going to try.
Yeah. So yeah, very, very. I'm telling you, whoever has an opportunity to be with my daughter, they're going to be like, man, who knew, right? A best kept secret. So yeah. So she actually cooked dinner tonight. We kind of take turns doing it. We'll have that conversation throughout usually we'll go to the store at the beginning of the week and buy what we want, but sometimes we're like, what are we gonna eat today? And then we'll kind of go back and forth or whatever the case is. But we decided we'd have steak, which I don't even know last time we even made steak. When I say we, I mean she. She said you're using these we terms very liberally. Yeah, but she made everything. The only thing I did was the dishes. That was it. So let's see here. Hi, Alice. How are you doing? Norris, she says, wish more of our people could hear you. I really do. They coming around, Norris. You know how our people are. Sometimes it's hard for us to, not all of us, some of us hard for us to get our new information because it goes against what we typically have been taught, So we just have to keep talking, and then eventually, some people will take the information and some people won't. But when I got into this, I was like, if I can just help one person see something differently, then I've done my job. And Tia says, do you use a travel agent when you travel or plan your own? Nope. My daughter's a travel agent. Yeah, she does.
All we do is we agree on what country we're going to, and we give it to her, and then she does all the planning.
Easy says save you some. It's gone. When I tell you, I was like, damn, that was damn good.
I'm gonna have to try that because, like I said, that steak I had in South Africa, I was putting that in literally. You guys, we're not lying. I was putting that steak in my pocket.
I bet you the steak she made tonight got that beat. I'm telling you, it was beyond restaurant quality. She got special butter, was infused with this. Oh man, it was awesome. It was really good. Black America talking about she too snooty. And what do you mean too snooty? What do you mean? She has expectations, standards. Is that what you mean?
The best advice I can give any woman out there: if you've got high standards and you're looking for a man, lower them.
So you don't want them smart. We want you to be compliant. Get you a dog. How about that? Get you a dog. Dogs are very compliant. Unless one day they're sick of you and they want to gnaw your face off or something. But get you a dog. Miss Sweet Talker says, every young woman does not want a thug. She desires a man who will show and give her the world.
Well, I have a question then, Miss Sweet Talk, and I know you're very knowledgeable and stuff. Why is it that when you talk to a younger person, they want the guy that has an edge and all this other stuff. He's like a rapper. He looks like a rapper. He got the tattoos, or he looks this, that, or he's street pharmacist, or whatever the deal is. In most cases, they make that mistake with that dude and have a baby with that dude. Then they want the square guy that's got the 9 to 5 or doing whatever, if they can even pull that guy.
I mean, there's some women are like that, you know, they trick off when they're young with no goods and things like that. And then, yeah, when it's crunch time, it's like, I might want to settle down with a real one, you know. So, yeah, that happens sometimes. But I think for the most part, most women, you know, they want a decent man, you know. And for me, the decent is not necessarily the money. As I said, just have some, you know. When we too old, especially at my age, talking about I'm getting it together. You know, I'm still finding myself.
Well, yeah, if I came out of prison, I'm getting it together. You got to give me a chance. I just did a bid, 40 years because I was accused. I was innocent though, but I was accused of being a street pharmacist, and I didn't want to tell on my homie because, I ain't no punk. But I did 40 years in the bid, so you got to give me a chance.
I'm sorry. Only thing a man in prison can do for me is show me where a free one is, okay? I'm sorry, okay? Like I said, as they said on Mommy Dearest, when Joan Crawford was acting up and she was talking to her boyfriend crazy, Greg was his name, and she was drunk. And he says, when you were younger, it was cute. Now you're just drunk. Okay. Now, when you're younger, the boys in prison might have been cute. You ain't really trying to, use a pen. Like, hi, today I'm wearing this lingerie. Wish you can see it. You might be playing around, but when you get older, that's just me. I'm just saying for me, whatever. But no, because this is the misconception too. People think because a man is in prison, oh, he's so faithful, he's loyal to you and only you. He ain't seeing nobody else. Shit. They be having all kind of people, women up in there visiting them, sending them commissary, putting money on the books. I mean, shoot, they probably got more women than y'all do on the outside. So yeah. But yeah, ED says if Wednesday show becomes successful, you should get all subscribers together at Phil and Darius. Yeah, ain't Phil and Darius, ain't the owners of them? Aren't they in jail for doing something? They got like long prison sentences, if I'm not mistaken. Is that the ones I'm talking about? Black-owned restaurant there. The owners is in prison. Your average logical thinker, you says, oh, I want someone to build with at 50 years old. Yeah, I mean. It shouldn't be this hard. Why? Yeah, there's somebody to build with, whatever the case is. Like I said, relationships at this point in the game should not be a lot of work. Me personally, I don't want to deal with no bunch of drama, no trauma. I just don't. Yeah, I don't have the energy. I'd rather spend that energy doing something else. Like exercising or whatever, but worried about what somebody doing when they, it almost gives me the hives to even think about it. Facts not feeling, you said younger women don't want decent men. That's good. God-fearing. They want a thug in their younger years and a responsible man in their older years. No thanks. Not all younger women want that. There's some younger women that don't want. There's a lot of younger women that don't want that. But yeah, can I be honest with y'all from a very honest point of view? I think the owners of Philadelphia, I think they're doing a prison sentence. The white husband and wife, their husband and wife. I think just like for y'all, I think the women like the thugs per se, because they're kind of exciting, I think women like the exciting part of it. I don't think women like the part of it that comes with all the other stuff that they're doing. But like Tupac said, give me some of that thug passion. Just a little bit. I think it's the edge. I really think that's what it is. I think a lot of women like a little bit of bad boy to their man. Nothing too extreme. Just something like, ooh. Same thing for y'all men. Y'all like a wild woman, sassafras. Don't tell me what to do. Y'all like all of that. I ain't doing none of that. Cook. You better bring something home on the way from work. Y'all
No, that's not true. We like the freaks in the sheets type chicks. We want you to be ladies and and acceptable. Something we can bring home to mom, but we can tell dad, this is the one.
Trust me, I know what y'all like them wild women. Miss Sweet Talk says I actually wanted a college guy who dissed me, so I decided to rebel after the so-called square didn't like me, but the same ex from college wanted to marry me 20 years later. Yeah. He was probably out there with the hot girls, the ones that was at Freaknik. That's the ones he was with. Ronnie says, I do agree women should have realistic expectations. I'm glad to have a wife. I couldn't care less what these women are doing. If I have no covenant with her, it's not my concern. You know what I'm saying? Right. And consider yourself very fortunate that you're not in these dating streets. There's a lot of traffic. They run you over. They don't signal. They ride your bumper. They got road rage in these dating streets. So find yourself very, very lucky. I have a friend. He's like, I think I'm ready to settle down, which I'm like, wow, for real? Ready to settle down? But he said she got to have, at least bring what I'm bringing to some degree to the table, because he's a very high earner. So she got to be making that. I said, well, she probably not going to be making as much as you making. It's not a lot of people that's making as much as you making. Said you might have to settle for a woman that can at least be a good steward over the money. She's a good woman and all that other stuff. And, she's able to at least take care of herself. But, that's the only way he's really willing to settle down. I think he's starting to change his mind just a little bit. Proud Man Trampy said they also have Fleece Johnson in those prisons. Man. See, that right there will stop me from going to prison. I like you and I want you. We can do this the easy way or the hard way, but we gonna do it. You just have to take me out. So anyway, let me go now. Black Americans and Miss D, you really don't know anything about dating and a relationship nowadays. No, I haven't been out there in them dating streets. It's been a minute for me. I say beginning of my last relationship was 2016, and I haven't been out. No, I'm scared. I try to look both ways. It's like, oh no, the cars is going too fast in those dating streets. So yeah. Jay Bubba says Black Alpha just showed a clip of Angela Rye and Andrew Gillum going at it about Jim Crow Joe. They are fighting over them biscuits. For real? On their new podcast, I'm gonna have to check it out. Marjorie, if I didn't already, how you doing? Okay, let's see. Let's skip on down because I think Donovan's got somewhere.
Well, you know what the funny thing is, you guys. Have you guys noticed that when we've been on here for about 2 hours, the black cat shows up? It's like he's almost saying, "Time's up." In the show, do what we do. So just notice that.
Black America, I don't believe you. I know my guy here likes wild women. Donovan liked the ratchets. He'll tell you
I love the ratchets. Love them. Wouldn't marry him. Yeah, wouldn't be seen in the streets with him.
He love a wild woman. Then he be she getting on my nerves. I'm like, it was fun while it lasted, wasn't it?
It was, and I'll have video memories until I die.
Did you say video? Fool. So anyway, we're going to get out of here because I'm tired. I still got work to do, believe it or not. So anyway, we'll be back here. If you guys want to, let's see here. We'll put this up here just so y'all can see it one more again. If y'all want to come on the show tomorrow, somebody who does, you want to send an email, there's an email at the bottom, ilovedk@gmail.com. We love to hear from you. Otherwise, I'm going to have to, So I don't know, I have to get creative or something, but definitely we'll have a show. But like I said, we're gonna try this again. If you're looking for a love connection, you want to put yourself out there and say, "Hey, yeah, Donovan, he's looking. Yes, yeah, looking for a love connection." I tried to auction Donovan off, but it just didn't work. I'm looking for a love connection. Here are my attributes. I'm looking for this type of woman. I'm looking for this type of man. You leave your information, and somebody may see you and be like, I like him. You could do that as well. Just email me so I'll know it ahead of time. But in the meantime, you guys be good and safe and all of that. Of course, we have ways to donate to the channel if you guys see fit.
Yes, and please check out your Average Logical Thinkers site and Miss Sweet Talks YouTube page.
Yes, and anybody else has a YouTube chat page, put it from now on in the comment section and say, hey, follow me, so that we can follow each other and we can get our subscribers up. So in the meantime, you guys, we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to see what it do. I'll be just as surprised as you guys to see what happens. So in the meantime, peace.